Question 3 from quiz 2. It's a little tricky. For these type of questions, you guys want to be very specific. Quieren ser muy específicos para este tipo de preguntas. Si no han hecho la pregunta 3, pongan mucha atención cómo la voy a hacer. If you haven't done question 3, pay very close attention to how I'm going to do it. For the sake of giving you guys the chance of figuring it out on your own, I'm going to solve this one using different letters. Okay? You guys will be solving for proving that angle B and angle D are congruent. I'm going to solve it using different angles. So yo voy a hacer el problema usando diferentes ángulos. Voy a comprobar que el ángulo A es igual al ángulo E. No, al ángulo F. I'm going to prove that angle A is congruent to angle F. And again, to show that two things are congruent to each other, you have to show that both things will overlap each other. If you're able to put both of them over each other, then you can say they are congruent. Like if you have an object and you're able to overlap it with another object, then you can say, hey, the two things overlap nicely and perfectly. Therefore, the two things are congruent. They are equal to each other. So the big question is okay, how do I take this angle A and put it on top of angle F? And the key piece here, it's a rotation. I want to rotate. Hopefully you guys remember. Can somebody tell me, what do I need for a rotation? What do I need to make a rotation, guys? The what?
Line of rotation.
Not the line. The center, the center or the point of rotation. Okay. So rotate around, and well, guys, where's the center of rotation here? Where would you, around what point would you rotate? ¿De dónde rotarían esta figura? ¿Dónde la rotarían para hacer que el ángulo A caiga arriba del ángulo F? ¿Dónde estaría su centro de rotación? Any guesses? Valeria? ¿Dónde crees que estaría el centro de rotación de esta figura? ¿Mande? ¿En medio? Yes, it's at the center, guys, in the middle. Right here in the middle, but here's the thing, guys. I don't know how to get the middle. You have to be specific. How do I get the middle? Can somebody tell me how I can get the middle? Let's see. Cassandra, ¿cómo podría encontrar el medio de la figura? ¿Sabe? No? Angelica? Do you know how I could find the middle of the shape?
Is it the line of symmetry?
You can connect some lines. How do we find the middle? That's the question. Because we're rotate around the center. But where's the center? We know it has to be in the middle. But how do we find the middle? Sorry. We don't have a name for the center. We need to give a name to the center. So let's call it I. Tenemos que darle un nombre. Vamos a decirle el centro I. Rotate around center I. And guys, in your description, in your proof, you have to tell me how you found the center I. So rotate around center I. Tienen que describir cómo encuentran el centro I. Lo encontramos donde el segmento HD y el segmento GC intersectan. We found center I where segment HD and segment GC intersect. So rotate around center I, which is found where segments HD and GC. You want to write the little line on top of them because it's their segments intersect. Tienen que describir todo lo que hacen para encontrar ese centro. So, tenemos que rotar alrededor del centro I, el cual se encuentra donde el segmento HD y el segmento GC chocan, intersectan. So rotate around center I, which is found where segments HD and GC intersect. Well, how many degrees? And what direction am I going? I can go counterclockwise. I can also go clockwise. Okay? Choose one. It doesn't matter which one. But you gotta tell me how many degrees you're rotating. Okay, so I'm gonna choose counterclockwise because it's shorter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so rotate well clockwise. I mean no, counterclockwise. Sorry, al revés. Counterclockwise. Al revés de la dirección del reloj. How many degrees? The degrees, guys, let me give you guys a really short lesson here. Degrees, you can find how many degrees you need here by counting how many sides the shape has. How many sides does this shape has? Show me with your fingers. How many sides? ¿Cuántos lados tiene? Enséñame con sus deditos. ¿Cuántos lados tiene esta figura? Lo veo allá atrás, lo veo acá adelante, lo veo ahí. ¿Cuántos lados tiene? Cuenten los lados. Tiene 8. It has 8 sides. Okay? Let me show you guys. If you have 8 sides, okay, it means that every turn, like to get from A to H, you're going to make a jump a specific amount of degrees. That specific amount, you find it by dividing 8 divided by 360. 360 because that's how many degrees around it goes. So, el brinquito que te llevaría de la A a la H lo puedes encontrar dividiendo el número de lados que tienes por 360, que los 360 pues son los ángulos alrededor de la figura. So 8 divided by 360, that's what? 45? ¿Es 45? Creo que sí. It's 45. So guys, from A to H, that's 45 degrees. Okay? Then from H to C, that's another 45 degrees. And then from G to F, that's another 45 degrees. So guys, how many degrees am I going to rotate to go from A to F? I'm going to rotate 45 and 45 and 45. How many degrees is that? Thank you. 135 degrees. And guys, that's it. That's question 3. It's tedious because you have to be specific. Okay? You have to be very, very specific with question 3. You have to tell me everything that you do. You don't want to skip anything. Okay, so rotate around center I. Well, how did you find I? I is found where segments HD and segments GC intersect. So I drew the segments. You can even tell me, oh, draw the segments HD and GC, and where they intersect, where they meet, that's where you get your center. Okay, and we're rotating counterclockwise 135 degrees, and that's it. That will take angle A on top of angle F. Es todo lo que tienen que hacer. Si quieren terminar su oración con entonces los ángulos van a ser iguales, pueden terminar así. Si quieren terminar aquí el trabajo, aquí ya se terminó, ya no tienen que explicar nada más. Alright, so if you guys want to finalize your statement with therefore angle A is congruent to angle F, you can do that. Pueden escribir como entonces, o a base de eso, creo que en español creo que esta palabra se hace translate, se traduce a base de eso, el ángulo A es igual al ángulo F. And that's it. You guys finished. This is formal mathematics, guys. It's formal, more formal than I think you've ever done math. Okay, and it's gonna get a little more formal later on, so be ready for that. So good news. For the back side of this, for the other questions, they're easier. Okay, let me go to the back. Lines of symmetry for number 4. Las líneas de simetría son las líneas que cortan una figura a la mitad y te dan dos mitades idénticas. Okay, las lines of symmetry, they cut an image in half, and they give you and that image will be cut in half perfectly, so that both halves will be equal to each other. So if you cut this cross in half like this, you're gonna have this half, and both halves will be identical to each other. So guys, this would be a line of symmetry. You want to draw all lines of symmetry, not just one. You want to draw all of them. Quieren dibujar todas las líneas de simetría. Check. That'll be another line of symmetry. That's 2 lines of symmetry. Check. This will be a 3rd line of symmetry. Third line of symmetry, and you actually have a 4th line of symmetry here. So it has 4 lines of symmetry. It has 1, 2, 3. It has 4 lines of symmetry. That's nice. Okay, that's all you want to do. Here's the thing. From question 4 to get to question 5, you need to find the lines of symmetry. Because to find the angles of rotation or the degrees of rotation, you need to know how many lines of symmetry it has. Letter C has 4. So to find the angles of rotation, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide the 4, because that's how many lines of symmetry I have. 4 divided by 360. So para encontrar los ángulos de rotación van a tomar el número de líneas de simetría que tengan y dividir ese número entre 360. So 4 divided by 360, it's going to give me 9, 0. It's going to give me 90. 4 divided by 360, it's 90. So guys, you're going to have an angle of rotation from here to here. That's going to be 90, and 90, and 90, and 90. Okay? So this shape is going to have 90 degrees. Okay? You want to rotate every time 90 degrees. So after another 90 degree rotation, you're going to get 180, because 90 and 90 is 180. Let me bring up the calculator so you guys can see that. You guys can see that 90 plus 90, that's 180. Okay, so add another 90, that's 270. When you get to 360, you can stop. Another 90, you see that you get 360. So yep, you just keep adding that number. Whatever number you get up here, you just keep dividing by that number. And that's it. So for letter C, those are the solutions. Let me do one more. The triangle is going to have a line of symmetry there. It's going to have another line of symmetry there. And it's going to have one more line of symmetry right there. So it has 3 lines of symmetry. So it's going to be 3 divided by 360. And that gives me 1062000. So it gives me 120. So for my triangle, my angles are 120 degrees. Then I'm going to keep adding 120 plus 120. That's 240 degrees plus another 120. Oh look, I get 360. And I can stop once I get to 360. So the triangle, that's it. And guys, that's it. I think question 3 is like the toughest.